Joining us in the studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. How you doing?
Pretty good. It was actually kind of raining when I walked in.
Oh,
there was
nice.
like 5 drops.
Little spittlins?
Yeah.
Well, not just enough to make everybody wash their car.
I want it to rain hard enough that it gets all the bugs off my windshield. I was in Lubbock on Monday.
Oh, so you got a nice bouquet of bug guts.
So if it would rain hard enough that I don't have to go to the car wash,
Although,
but that's not going to happen.
Depending on what parts, you hit some bugs that I don't know what they eat. Feed them.
Right.
But they got some they leave some leavings on there.
They have some glue to them.
And the washer on your car usually isn't
Makes
strong
it worse.
enough. Yeah. And so in the rain, so you're probably going to have to run it through the car wash anyway and let someone put some elbow grease on that thing. But anyway, hopefully it rains. Wash your car because that'll guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely.
Run it through the car wash and it'll rain like the Dickens this afternoon.
That's right. So everybody go get in line at every car wash in town.
Yeah, exactly. For the sake of Southeast New Mexico and Roswell, wash your car today. I don't care how, where, why, do it in your front yard. Go to any one of our amazing car washes here in town.
I'm sure there's somebody doing a car wash to raise money for something somewhere.
Exactly. Let's go hit them up and wash our cars it'll rain very heavy and nice. And not all at once, but nice, good soaking rain.
Correct.
So, good deal. Of course, Chamber's been busy. I know you've been hosting a lot of meet and greets and, of course, just getting back in the business of being the Chamber of Commerce now.
Yes, now that we are out of the COVID restrictions officially, we are definitely getting more stuff. Tomorrow we have the Farmers Insurance going to be over at the office for their big, I think it's their annual meeting.
Oh, cool.
And then we are also doing a lunch and learn, and we're hosting that over at the EDC building across the street from the parking lot.
Yeah, right next door here, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's for SHRM HR information. Okay. Because there's so many new policies and procedures and laws that have come out in the last year. Sick leave is now a law in the state of New Mexico as of the 1st of July. And I had to do a lot of research to figure out what it is that I need to have in place in our office. We only have a couple of employees.
Sure.
But you still
Someone's
need
sick,
to know.
they stay home. Yeah.
You still need to know what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
So I started talking with Jeannie Lopez-Bobarus from Leprino. She's their HR director.
And they have a lot more people that work for them, and they have probably a very, very thorough in place way to do all that stuff. Yeah.
And so her and I started talking because I asked her questions, of course. I call over at Crumlin and ask Tina, their HR person, all kinds of questions. I'm like, hey, how do I do this? What do I need to do? And when Jenny and I were talking, she goes, SHRM has these groups that they meet, and it's like a club for HR people that you can get to know. And if you have a business, whether you're 1 employee or 100 employees, you really need to know the HR world. It's dry. It is boring. You're probably going to fall asleep a lot.
It's not riveting, but it's necessary.
But you need to know this stuff. Yeah. So we have set up our first meeting tomorrow, starting at 11:30. You can go on to the new Roswell Chamber of Commerce website.
Oh, it's officially unveiled.
It is. I'm so excited. And you can go to our events page on the calendar. You can click on the event and it will take you to the sign-up sheet.
Okay.
Because we're just trying to get a count of how many people are going to be there. And as of Friday last week, we had about 30 people already sign up.
Good.
So,
I would imagine, if you're a mom and pop small business where, let's face it, you're probably like that. You got 3 employees and you're like, hey, you're sick, stay home. But now you have to, official things policies and protections in place for the employee and for your business as well, too. So you need to know these things because, unfortunately, successful businesses get bit in the butt and have huge issues by things like the minutia of things like this.
Absolutely.
So and let's face it, if you're the business owner and everything, no one else but you are going to be the one to make sure these get implemented in place. Yeah. So sign up for the meeting. Come at least that way you have the information and you can do with it accordingly as you see fit.
And lunch will be provided by McDonald's.
Nice.
Thank you, Nick Snowberger and McDonald's. So they're going to do our lunch over there at the EDC. There is, quite a bit more room to spread out and take notes and
Yeah,
stuff.
they got a big little area, and the air conditioning works well, too.
Thank you to Mike and the staff over there for allowing us to use their space.
Well, and let's face it, the EDC and the chamber share a lot of the same mission statement.
Absolutely.
Now that their EDC covers a little bit more different areas than the chamber does.
They're more of the world, where we're more regional.
But at the same time, whereas, you know what? Here's a good way to look at it, I think. EDC brings the world to here, and then you guys' job is to bring that to the people here.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
And to keep the world here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hand-in-glove type situation.
Exactly.
That we really do a lot of the same things, but then we do some different things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a great partnership. And then, of course, we've got Leadership Roswell applications are open now.
Yes.
You have one more week.
Next Friday is the deadline.
5:00 Friday.
And they're on, I think, next week to talk about that. We've got them scheduled on the radio. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but it's on the calendar.
Yeah, so you've
next
got
week.
This week, and then up till Friday of next week, 5:00, we turn it off on the website. We lock the door at the chamber. I mean, if I don't lock the door till 5:05 and you sneak in, then I won't tell anybody. But everything needs to be in by 5:00 next week. Once again, new website, Roswell Chamber of Commerce, roswellnm.org.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on the very front page and you scroll down about 3/4 of the way, there's a nice big spot that says Leadership Roswell application and a big, beautiful button that says click here. It goes straight to the application that you fill it out because I tested it. So when they go to look at the applications, when we go to pull those, I just filled it out, as quickly as I could.
Sure, and submitted.
To submit it to make sure that the whole process worked.
So you don't have a chance really getting in this class, do you?
Well, I've already done it.
I know, but based on her answers, she's not getting in.
Well, I think I answered me on everything. I was like, me.
What's the problem, me?
And if there was a date, well, right?
What's the biggest problem in Roswell? Me.
Oh, I'm sure there are. My fan club out there's going,
Some would agree if I put that down. I think they'd be like, yeah, that guy's
My husband's probably listening, going, yeah, that's 100.
We got a problem. but everything worked as advertised.
It got there, and then we went on the back end. We saw that it was there, so it works. About 3/4 of the way on that front page, it's clearly labeled Leadership Roswell application. So please get your applications in because we only have spots for 30 people.
30 is the limit. Almost every year we have more than 30 that do apply. So please, and I will give you, as both of us here are graduates of the program, my recommendation is take some time to answer these questions.
Yes.
Don't just put me or yes, no.
Exactly.
Don't do that. That's not what we want to do. These questions are short answer, and they want thought provoking. Like one of the questions, if I do remember right, is what do you think one of the greatest problems is in Roswell?
Yeah.
And if you say crime and that's it, then we're like, well, this person clearly doesn't either want to share or understand what's going on in this community.
And it doesn't have to be a 5-page dissertation.
Yeah, we don't want that either. But
you could, flesh out your idea in 3 or 4 sentences.
Yeah. If someone walked to you on the street and said, "What's the thing you love most about?" What would you tell them?
Exactly.
And that's what they want you to know, and kind of give a bit of a why without telling your whole life story, obviously. And this is just, I know this from my own experience. Recommendations do help your cause. So if you've got people of influence here in this community that would be willing to write a recommendation letter for you to attach to said application, it will definitely help your cause immensely. So, so don't. I'm not going to lie. When I applied for this, and I'm being a radio gig, and I know everybody and their uncle like this, I was hitting up the mayor, county commissioners, presidents of college. I'm hitting everybody.
I did the same thing. I went through and I got 4 letters of recommendation.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. I called my city councilors, the mayor, the county commissioners, all of the people that I deal with, on a day-to-day basis and doing all the volunteer stuff that I was doing at that time.
Yeah.
And got those letters and turned them in.
Absolutely. So you've got a week and a half now, so you got enough time to get that legwork done. So go download the application here today. Peruse it, start thinking about your answers and things. Start percolating if you do want to go get some endorsements to go get that locked up. And to be honest, if it's some of those influential people, mayors, they're all familiar with the program. They probably know exactly what you're talking for. And you have to say, hey, I'm applying for Leadership Roswell. Can you give me a recommendation? Most of them, unless you're a jerk, they'll be like, no, sure. Unless they don't like you. But
that might be a sign if you get a lot of no's.
No, I don't think so.
No, but absolutely. And we're looking forward to this next year. I know that the team is already starting to plan the welcome reception and the first few classes. That's one of the things I love about Rick Kraft is that he is very methodical and he's very organized. And so things get done in a timely manner.
Absolutely. So please go check out the new website while you're there.
Yes.
And then check out the new chamber website. And then when you're done looking around everything, go ahead and download that application.
Yep. And if there's with our so now segueing over to the website because I'm so excited. It is much easier for us to be able to make the changes so it'll stay updated. We can be more relevant. You can change
it on the fly really quickly.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Now, it was a learning curve. I'm not going to lie about the calendar. In fact, Liz was laughing because I couldn't figure out how to go in and change the calendar because I was following all the steps that we were told. And I'm like, but this page isn't working. And then it clicked because it is part of our chamber-specific software. And I was like, oh, I bet in the program, if I click this little tab over here that says events, it will give me the calendar. And voila, it was right there.
The key just opened up and everything.
And I'm like, and it does. It makes it so much easier because right there is where I can put any links. Okay. You know, for example, with Leadership Roswell, I was able to just put the link in there and then the description. I could create a button, however we wanted to do it, and then we can place it anywhere in the website that we want.
And it's probably handy if it's like, say, an organization or a business comes in at 3:00 on a Friday saying, hey, Saturday we got a thing. Can you help us promote it real quick? You can get on your little calendar thing and change it on the website like that. Say, hey, now it's on our website.
Send it on the website. Send out an email. We can do both of those things in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great tool that you guys have
all of our people. So I'm excited. So community. Any kind of community events, whether you are a chamber member or not, please contact us, and we'd love to put those events. I would love our Roswell Chamber of Commerce website events page to be that place that everybody goes to, whether the city is putting it on, whether it's a individual organization. I want all of the events going on in Chaves County to be on our calendar.
Absolutely.
For example, I was going through and looking at Facebook and my emails this morning before I came in. School starts August 4th.
Yeah, I know.
That's like 2 weeks.
My wife officially got her keys yesterday for her classroom and has been in work in the last couple of days. Now, she doesn't have to report back until I don't remember the date, but she's been back but she officially has to go back like in a week. But
she's probably going and setting up her room and making it.
She spent a hunk of yesterday in it. She's probably sitting in there as we speak right now doing something.
Yeah, so 2 weeks from, basically it's 2 weeks that school starts. So I'm going to start putting in the open houses for all the different schools because Berendo Middle School's open house is going to be different, maybe, than Sierra versus Roswell High versus the elementary schools. And like Berendo Mid, where my kids go, they kind of have a uniform policy. They have to wear the Berendo Mid T-shirts.
Okay.
They can wear jeans, but they have to have the Berendo shirts.
Okay.
Well, my kids have grown, so...
They need new shirts.
We need new shirts. So not only did Principal Vernon do the mass call to everybody to tell us, but I had gotten an email from this RISD that said, hey, here's the open house if you need shirts. And it's a good way to go in, grab my kids' schedule again, tweak it a little bit, because sometimes they're willing to do that before the first day of school. And then they can see all their friends. We can see where all of their classes are because it's kind of daunting the first day of school to figure out where you're going. And, if you have a locker, to have the locker combination. That was always That always scared the bejeebies out of me when I was growing up, is that I wouldn't be able to get into my locker when I needed to.
Yeah, there was always that, especially like your freshman year and your sixth grade year, at least for me, because those were the 2 years that I got new locker.
Yes.
Like sixth grade, I entered middle school, and that's the first time I ever got a locker. Was middle school, and then when I got to ninth grade, we go to the high school, and then of course you get another locker, and those lockers are of the size where you can get stuffed in.
Yes.
The middle school ones weren't.
So were ours. Well, if you were a little person, you could get stuffed into the middle school.
But
Not
they were
that
like
I'm
the half
advocating.
ones. But they were like half ones. They had to do some effort. The ones at high school were the full length ones.
Oh, absolutely. So those are the big things that are going on. Leadership Roswell next week. Applications are due. So please get online. If you're not tech savvy, not everybody is. We do have paper applications at the chamber. So come to 131 West 2nd. We'll be more than happy to give you a paper application. If you want to drop off a paper application, 131 West 2nd, come to the chamber. We have a stack. And then on Friday, as soon as we lock the doors, we're going to make copies and send them over to Rick. And then Rick and his committee will go through and choose our next 30 candidates.
Choose the 30
students.
And then
we're excited.
Yeah. And so get your stuff in this week, but your deadline is next Friday by close of business, 5 p.m. next Friday. And make sure those applications are turned into the chamber by 5 p.m. next Friday.
Correct. Because if you wait till Saturday, you're done.
And
it's not going to happen.
Before we move on, I do want to say if you've applied in the past, please consider reapplying, because you do get more weight, more consideration if you've applied for Leadership Roswell in the past and did not get accepted. You get a little bit more weight there. So if this is your second or third year trying, please apply again. You're going to have a greater chance this year. So.
Absolutely, because it shows dedication. Yeah. And I know that it weighs heavy on Rick and the committee when they have, because you have to draw the line somewhere. Yeah. And I know it's hard on the committee when they have to say, okay, these are the no's.
It is. Having served on the committee in the past, it is a very difficult thing. So
because there's always great names in that pile that you're like,
we enjoy you making it hard for us, because I've only done it once, but I have done it before, and it is because I think the year I did it, we had like 35 applications. And so there was 5 or so we couldn't, and I'm like, I don't know, man. These, this is tough. It's and the difference really was slight. What make it, and then you look at things like, well, so and so's younger, this and that. Maybe they go next year, kind of. So there's a whole lot of stuff playing in your head there.
It's almost easier when there's 60 applications, because you're like, okay, well, half of them aren't going to make. But when it comes down, like during COVID. Even in COVID, when we were locked down and we really couldn't do as much, we still had 32, 35 applications. There was always more than 30. And I thought for sure that first year when I came in and we were still under COVID restrictions, I was like, there's no way we're even going to have 30 people. We're going to have open seats. Everybody's going to make it. And I tell you what, there were...
I know
there were more.
And I know prior to COVID, it was 60 plus each time there for a couple of years.
And it's been growing. I know last year we had about 40.
Good.
Because now that we're coming out of COVID and people are realizing the program's still there, there's still things to do, we're going to have more than 30 people.
Good.
Put in their application. I know, I'm pretty sure I think we've already gotten 30 applications so far.
We're at that
I also know that this last week, I don't know what it is about Roswell, but it seems like we get most of our stuff in
We're the land
this
of manana.
week and next week.
Yeah, and I guarantee Friday there's going to be people coming in. Maybe not at 5, but they'll be there at 3 dropping off applications.
We'll actually have a good steady stream Thursday, Friday of people coming in. Oh, here you go. And like I said, please, either online, roswellnm.org, or about 3/4 of the way down on the right-hand side, you can't miss it. Leadership Roswell application. Click there. You can do it. Or come in, get a paper application, and you can turn it back in.
Yeah. It's a great class.
It's fantastic. You're going to learn a lot about the community, about the leaders, how Chaves County and Roswell works, and why things work the way they do.
And get 29 other networking and friendship opportunities that you probably make and stay for the rest of your life. So,
absolutely.
good deal. What else do we want to mention?
Those are our
Chamberlain?
biggest highlights
Okay.
right now that I wanted to make sure is website. Please go check it out. If there's something you want us to add, let me know. Because
Please don't wait till last minute, like my example earlier, because it shortchanges your own promotion stuff. Just because we can do it doesn't mean it's a good idea to do it.
Correct.
So.
And if you just let us know, between our email list that we send out, we have just over 800 emails that we send out every Friday for our weekly email. Now, obviously, if something is of great importance or it's vital that we get out, we can send those emails out sooner.
Sure.
And now with the website, I'm so excited. It's beautiful. It's easy to use, not only for us to keep updated, but for the community to go and check it out and see what we've got going on.
And the Chamber Blast on Friday is a great tool because it's the people that get it. It's kind of like, oh, what's the last minute reminder? What's happening this weekend? And that's the way I always look at it. So usually get it Friday afternoon, and then I look through it, and it's like, okay, that's up. And usually in my head, it's like, all right, do we cover that? Yes, no, yes, yeah. My radio perspective. But for people that aren't doing this kind of stuff, it's a great way to say, hey, what's happening here this weekend in Roswell?
And we try to put, if it's a weekend event, if you'll send it to us at least a week in advance, then you get 2 Fridays because we want to promote your stuff as much as possible. And you can tell, most of the time you can tell what's coming up quicker because we try to keep that towards the top of the email.
Gotcha.
So that way when you're reading it, that's the stuff that is either most important or stuff that's coming up quick.
Sure.
And then as you scroll down, these are maybe events that don't happen until a month later.
Keep in the back pocket, put on your radar.
Or information that just we need to make sure you guys are getting. But it's not, it's all important. I don't want to, downplay any of my members. Our members are fantastic.
But if it's a later, more timely issue, then it's
if something's going to happen in September, you're going to be towards the bottom of the email
until September.
Because something that's going to happen this week is going to need to be pushed out.
Sure. And let's face it, we're going to be getting into a busy time here. It's election year. Like I said, you've hosted numerous meet and greets with candidates from both spectrums and everything else there. So there'll be a whole lot more of that, I think, in between now and November.
And we're working with both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party to start up our meet and greets again, because there's going to be at least one candidate for each position, at least one candidate. And in most cases, you're going to get a Republican and a Democrat. So, for example, for governor, we all know there's Mark Ronchetti and Michelle that is running. So do you want to keep the current governor? Do you want to make a change? We want, as the chamber, to have both of them come into their office and do a meet and greet, and then let you, the community, make that decision.
Absolutely. That's it's there to provide you the information. As the chamber has stated on 100,000 times, they don't back or support one political candidate. They offer the platform for everybody, and what they do stand for is you having a right to make an educated vote, and that's what the goal is there. So even if you're already made your decision, I invite you to come out and hear your opposition, hear what they have to say, understand what's going on here. Just because it'll either cement what you think or maybe make you think about the way you think on things. And that's not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
It's always, we always need to grow and evolve as humans. And that's how we do it.
You just had Michelle Garcia Holmes, who's running for Congress in Congressional District 1 here. And redistricting has happened. We got
a learning curve here.
If you went and voted 2 years ago, you're probably not voting for the same people in the same areas. So that's also why at the chamber, I really want to make sure to get a lot of these candidates, especially our House and Senate candidates for Santa Fe, because they've changed.
Yeah.
I know on my ballot, when I went to go vote in the primary, I thought I was in one district, and I had done my research, and I was prepared
I did the same thing.
to do that circle, and I get my ballot, and I was like, what? Wait a second.
This ain't right.
That person is not on my ballot, and it's because literally if I lived across the street, I would have been in the other district.
Wow. See, I was the same, because I thought when all this went down, I got moved into one. And turns out I'm in 3.
Me too.
Yeah, and when I got my voter card, like in the mail, like a couple weeks before primaries, there, I was like, "Oh, dang, I'm in 3, not 1. I could have sworn I was in 1." So
exactly, and
yeah.
I consider myself an above average informed voter.
Yeah,
and I do my research, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. So pay attention, and so and like I said, the Chaves County Clerk's Office has a link to a state website, and I don't remember all the dots. It's newmexico.gov something or other, but you go in there and you can look up your entire voting history. It can tell you what your precincts you voted in, and any vote that you've had in the state of New Mexico, it'll tell you what you did and how you voted. So if well,
it won't tell you how you voted, but it'll tell you that you voted.
Okay, I thought it also told the candidates that you voted.
I don't think so.
I
don't think
did.
they keep that, but I'll have to go and check, because I was told that it's, for example, I would be considered what they say a 4-for-4 voter. That basically anytime there's an election, I go out and I vote.
Gotcha.
If it's school board, if it's a bond issue, if it's president, governor, I'm going out and I'm voting because I was given that right as a citizen, and I love that.
Now I got to go back and look, because I could have sworn I remember looking like a year or two ago.
Ooh, that's spooky if it does tell you who you voted for.
I feel like I saw it there, but now I'm like, am I remembering that right, or am I just planting crap in my head? I'm not sure.
Because that's kind of spooky if it's keeping track of who you voted for.
I thought because it was showing me like presidential elections and things like. I could have sworn it did, but maybe I'm wrong.
It probably just said that you voted in all of these elections.
Maybe it did. Maybe I inserted in my head who I voted. I don't know.
And if you voted in primaries, it may assume that you voted a certain way in the general, which is not always the case.
Yeah, I got to go back and look. It's been a year or two plus.
And see, those are kind of the links that we're going to put on the website as well for us, because I know some of, especially government websites, it gets convoluted and difficult to find things.
Yeah.
So we're trying to have a one-stop shop for the chamber website. Hey, if you go to this section, these are going to be all the links that you're going to need to be able to register to vote, find your voter history, things like that.
Yeah, I just had a heck of a time, and I don't remember what I was looking for. It was a couple days ago. I was looking for something.
Ooh, now I'm curious.
It was just a piece of information like, what's this and that? And I was like, I don't know. I'll look it up. And I ended up on government websites, and I got so turned around. I never did get the answer, but I don't remember what I was looking for now. It must not have been that important. But I got a wild hair and was curious about something,
and
so I started digging.
You can spend a whole day looking for stuff. I know I had to do something for the IRS once.
Yeah.
And it took me well over a whole day. And I don't think I ever found the information. I think I eventually called the number, and then you sit on hold for 3 days.
Uh-huh. And at that point, you're like, do I want to keep going or do I give up?
Yeah, you're like, screw it.
But check out the new chamber website. It's Artesia,
Roswellnm.org.
There you go. Thank you.
Very easy. Leadership Roswell applications. You can either online or come see us, 131 West 2nd.
Yeah.
Give us a call, 575-623-5695. If you have anything that you want us to promote in Chaves County, we're your guys.
Absolutely. And reach out if you're a business, nonprofit, even. There's a lot of chamber members. If you're looking for an opportunities for membership, if you do business in Chaves County,
you should be a member of the chamber.
Then you should be a member. You don't have to even have your business in Chaves County. There's a lot of chamber members that they're set up shop in Eddy County or outside of the state,
If you do business with somebody, they should be a chamber member. If you are a business that comes into Chaves County, you should be a member because we can just help you in all kinds of ways to network, to get the tools, the tricks and tips to stay connected, to continue to grow your business, those types of things.
And I would also argue, if you're here, but you do a lot of business in Eddy County and in those areas, go talk to the Artesia Carlsbad chambers as well and get on their radar as well too. Because and I know you network with all the chambers.
Oh, absolutely.
In some in way, shape, or form. There,
great executives out there, great chambers. They've been very helpful in teaching me on what to do, as well as since I've taken over this position. I'm amazed at how many people are connected to chambers around the country. In fact, my cousin runs a chamber of commerce in Winter Park, Colorado.
Oh, that's funny.
And so her and I were talking. Now, obviously, the way they run their chamber is completely different because they have a ski.
Yeah, they got different needs than Roswell, New Mexico.
Well, they have a ski slope. So the ski slope does a lot for them. And they have the ability to do different things, but it's cool to get those ideas. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Sure.
Okay, how can we get that to work here?
I imagine a lot of things they do for skiing works well for aliens and vice versa. A lot of things we do for aliens might work well for skiing.
Yes.
You know, that's where the connections are made there. So very cool. But again, check out the new website. Don't forget, as always, the chamber is on Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram.
Right? Those are the two major social medias that they are on. And of course, you can always come on by the office there. Monday through Friday. If the door is locked, ring the doorbell.
Correct.
A lot of times, if someone's there by themselves, they'll lock the door for security purposes.
Yep.
So.
If you see one of our cars out there, a white car, a red car, or a big black truck, somebody's there. And there are times that there's nobody in the office because we're out in the community.
Sure, you're out beating the bushes.
But call us, leave a message, we'll get back to you.
At an event and things like that too. Because matter of fact, there's something that I remember talking to somebody and we're talking about red coats. Oh, it was the health fair.
Yes.
They'll be out there at like 7:30 or 8 in the morning on the 6th there, creating and starting the Chaves County Health Expo.
Absolutely.
So
we're excited for that event too. That'll be so much fun.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to a normal one.
Yes.
Instead of like split up or virtual or all the stuff we've had to do.
Virtual is nice when I don't have to drive 3 hours for a 30-minute meeting.
Yeah.
Virtual is no bueno for an event like the Health Expo where you should really be in person.
And I hope this is where COVID evolves us, where maybe for these stupid meetings that are 30 minutes and you know what I mean? It's like let's just zoom in and be done with it.
I have been so empowered with that in a lot of things that I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not driving 3 hours to Albuquerque. I love you guys to death, but you know, let's Zoom.
Heck yeah. Especially $5 gallon gas.
Yeah. And then you can get back to work doing other things.
Yeah, exactly. And not mess up your day. So good deal. Well, thank you as always.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you in a couple weeks and stay cool. That's not easy right now.
No, it's even too hot to go hang out in the pool.
Right? Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. It's like it's too sunny. It's too
It's too much.
As soon as I get out, my head starts smoking. So
Absolutely.
All right. It is 9:54. We're going to take a quick break before we wrap up.